Hey everybody, welcome to Bad Yogi Q&A Wednesday with me, Erin Motz, where I answer the questions that you guys send me via email and social media too. Today's question is about money, specifically yoga teachers and money. The question from this week comes from Christy. And Christy asked, "Hey Erin, I'm a brand new teacher and I'm just figuring out what to charge for my classes. I'm super awkward when it comes to asking for money and I'm not sure if I can even charge for what I do. How do you handle this? What should I do? Is it okay to charge for teaching yoga classes, especially while just starting out?" Whoa, this topic is one that I am super passionate about. I actually did a Facebook live chat kind of around this topic a couple weeks ago, and a lot of you felt similarly, so I thought it would be a great topic to tackle in a Q&A as well. When it comes to yoga teachers and charging for what we do, it can be a very sticky topic. There's a lot of people out there who say that you shouldn't charge for teaching yoga. Yoga is a service, it's an offering, it's a spiritual practice, therefore you shouldn't charge any money for it. It would be wrong. And to that I say BS. First of all, charging for yoga is just like charging for personal training or a cycling class or a Pilates class, or the person who does your nails gives you a massage, gives you acupuncture, Reiki, stone therapy, literally any other service that is based in wellness. We would never question around whether or not we should charge for it. But somehow yoga, people like to sneak in this exemption for a yoga practice. I think it's a bunch of crap because I think it exploits the teachers, the people who are busting their butts, getting trained, educating themselves, working hard to build effective, really good classes, and it exploits their guilt and makes people feel like they shouldn't charge for what they do. But anyway, that is a whole different Q&A. So of course, bottom line is that number one, you absolutely should charge for what you do. Charge for your classes. Now of course, what's a fair price might differ depending on where you live, how much experience you have, all of this, but the bottom line is that you should absolutely not feel guilty for charging for what you're worth. A few kind of tips of the trade I'll tell you about from my own experience. Most yoga studios will probably give you a flat rate. So maybe it's $25 per class that you teach. Maybe it's a little more if you live in a bigger city with a higher demand. You could also do a flat rate plus a certain dollar amount per every person in your class. Every studio is a little bit different, but that's pretty standard. Any studio that wants you to come teach and not make money until a certain amount of people are in your class, that's gonna be a no. I think that's kind of sketchy and really not taking very good care of your people. So definitely try not to work with a studio who's gonna try to make you do that. As for private clients, one of the things that I used to do is I would make my clients book several classes with me at a time and pay for them up front. This not only incentivizes you to build out kind of a good comprehensive program for them, but it also incentivizes your client to show up on time, to take it seriously, to commit for that duration. And you cannot underestimate the importance of commitment from both parties. So that's a good thing to do, something that worked really well for me when I was teaching privately. And if you're struggling with the criticisms of those who think you shouldn't be charging for what you do, let me tell you to put it out of your mind right now. Anybody who's putting that out there is, I hate to say this, no, I don't hate to say it. I just feel a little bit guilty for saying it, but I do think it's the truth. Anybody who's gonna criticize you that harshly is probably a little bit jealous that you're able to make money doing something that is pretty cool, doing something that you enjoy, doing something that allows you to have flexibility and freedom with your time. So anybody who's gonna throw out really harsh critiques about anything that you do, there's typically something else going on below the surface with that individual, and it has nothing to do with you. Start by setting out what is fair for you, what incentivizes you and your time to bring your absolute best, what is fair for the people that you're working with, and go from there. And you know, this might sound really kind of woo-woo, hippie weirdness, but I think there's something else to be said about charging for your art, whatever that is. And I think a lot of artists struggle with this too. So it's not just yoga teachers or people in the wellness industry, it's painters, it's people who are dancers, people who teach things that are probably by some logical standards frivolous, right? Like we feel like we don't have the right to charge for something that we've invested time and energy into, even if other people really value it. But I think there's something to be said about that exchange of, I put work into this thing, I put work and love and heart and devotion into this thing, this product, whatever you want to call it, and I'm giving it to you. And no, it's not for free, because as I put effort here, you respect that effort and respond by paying for it, you know? And I think that it's, if we can see it as a fair exchange and not as something that is like you're taking advantage of someone or you're taking something that's not rightfully yours, something like that. I don't know, there's a lot of arguments around there around money, and it's a very uncomfortable topic, but I do think that it's important for that exchange to occur, not just on a physical level, but on an energetic level, on an appreciation level. It's like, I appreciate what you do. I want you to continue doing it. I want you to be able to support yourself while you continue doing it, because what you do benefits me, and I'm contributing to that, to the betterment of you and your craft. Alright, so there you have it, Q&A Wednesday. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Now, as usual, I do want to hear from you. So drop it down in the comments and tell me, is this a topic that you struggle with? Is teaching yoga and making money a topic that makes you feel a little uncomfortable? Does it skeeve you out a little bit? What other questions do you have around yoga and the business of yoga? I would love to answer them if I can. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with me. New website, yes, badyogi.com. That is it. I am super excited about it. I'll talk more about this in the description below, but make sure you head on over, sign up for my list to get free yoga classes, sequences, tips, lots of great stuff coming down in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys right back here next week.